Trev, the other big AL topic before we chew through some of the series quick. Javy Baez. Hey, Tigers fans, welcome to the season. Tough time to join the party, but Javy Baez is running, loses track of the outs, gets doubled up, gets benched, and we haven't been talking a lot of Tigers since remember their first season with Hinch? Those resurgent Tigers that were coming up, and Torkelson was on the way, and they made moves in free agency, Erod and Baez. We haven't been talking about them a lot since then because it hasn't been pretty. But, Hinch, and he admits it, which I at least like that. He's like, I benched Javy because I'm trying to send a message. It's early in the season, and that's not going to go down. Trev, you're always going to run into one or two of these a year. I guess for this whole circumstance, where are you at?
It's interesting because Baez also had some quotes. He goes, I understand why it happened. But he goes on to say, if I was raking and we were winning games, I wouldn't have been pulled from the game. And it's an interesting quote because it's true.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
No, it's true. It's 100% true.
It would depend.
Looked bad, obviously, in the way that they've played the last couple of years, like you mentioned, and they're trying to set a standard there. And your best player, your most exciting player, has to lead by example. So I understand where Hinch is coming from as well. But that quote from Baez, it's reality. Okay, things get put under a microscope when you're losing games and you're having tough seasons like this, and you're seemingly kind of. What's the term I'm looking for? Swimming in place, running in.
Okay.
They ain't going anywhere right now.
Right.
I mean, they can't find their footing in that organization. So look, Hinch has to do something about it. He probably was happy that it was Baez, because if it was some young kid, it doesn't have the same effect as it does if it's Javy Baez. So I'm kind of on both their sides here. Hinch has got to do something. I'm not the biggest Hinch supporter. I don't like how he handled the Astro situation, and this situation's I don't know what this guy brings to the table that everyone loves so much. I've never really figured that out. I know he went to Stanford. Him and I are,
right.
alums sort of that university.
Sort of.
Shout out the tree. I don't really have much on this. It's a silly situation. I mean, Baez, obviously you got to know the outs. I've fucked up though, and I didn't get benched. There was a time I was in Anaheim. Kevin Slowey was pitching. One of my dear friends. I wanted to make every single play behind him because he was really nice to me. Shout out Slowey. And we went to turn a double play. I mean, it's tailor-made double play to end the inning. And I'm at second base. And I catch the ball, tag second, and I just kind of start to run off the field. I don't turn it. I thought there was 2 outs. I didn't get benched. And we weren't even playing that good.
Right.
So it's these managers kind of pick and choose the times of when they do this. And this was definitely to send a message.
Yeah.
To try to instill the culture. We didn't really have that problem on that team particularly. We played hard and we did our best. This is a message, and I don't know if it'll be heard. I don't know, man. So these things are strange, to be honest with you. Throughout the clubhouse, I think Hinch probably thinks he's sending this message that's going to reverberate through everyone. But at the end of the day, it's they're going to play another game tomorrow or today, and if Javy Baez goes and fucking hits a home run, Hinch is going to give him a high five, and they're going to hug, and everything's all good, dude.
Yeah, it's Trev, I do this for the joke, but Hinch hasn't been as good of a manager with the Tigers for whatever reason. The team just isn't winning as much games as when he was the manager in Houston. It must be his
That's been my take
style.
on managers this entire time. If you're a good manager, you got good players.
Yeah, no, and
that's
it's
1,000%
right. There's never been no manager in the league could grab the Tigers or the A's or the Nats right now and make them win the division. That just ain't how it works.
I don't want to talk crap about Buck Showalter because I think he's a phenomenal person. Yeah. I really, really like Buck, but it's everyone's oh, Buck's the best. Well, just look at the roster you handed this guy.
Right.
I mean, come on, guys.
I think, over the course
there are certain things people do. Yes.
Yes. I think it can add and subtract a little bit, but yeah, you need a lot of the ingredients. You can't just, I was going to make a cooking joke and I got out of there.
I will give it to Hinch because he did say it's not just about Baez. They've had some gaffes on the bases the last couple of games, and it hasn't just been Baez.
Yeah.
Like they've been kind of messing up. And his quote is, "It's not even really about Javy. If you look at the last couple of series, we made a couple of mental mistakes, and the one thing we control is our preparedness and our readiness." I mean, this is like straight from the manager's handbook. I feel like I've heard that exact quote from a manager before. So,
Trev, can I say something that's not helping the situation? Coming off of the offensive season they had last year as a team, as ugly as it can get, and you come out and we're 13 games in or whatever, they are 30th in batting average, 30th in on base, 30th in OPS, 30th in runs scored. There's 30 teams. The vibes ain't good. And I don't know what you do, because Trev, if you want another good laugh, I've dropped this over the offseason. You know, Javy Baez is not the most beloved guy in Tigers land right now. They gave him the big contract, and he hasn't performed, and the team hasn't performed. By WAR, and WAR's not everything all the time, he was their best player last year. So, like, and, you know, hey, Eric Haas in his 110 games, I think he's got a good argument. After him, nobody does. It's crazy how bad they were last year. It sucks that it's now leaked into this season. And Trev, I don't know, man. I've got a little bit of World Baseball Classic still in me. Just who Baez is and how he feels when he's playing. And remember when he got traded to the Mets and he went nuts for those final 47 games? Feels like this is a guy that feeds off playing in like the intense environment. Like he wants that. And it feels like he's as far away that as he can get right now, that I don't know where this relationship is going. And hopefully it's an overreaction. And maybe Javy Baez has an 800 OPS this year and puts in a nice year because it's just been 12 games. I don't know, man. I'm getting like squirrely. We might have to figure this out, and maybe Uncle Steve eats some money at the deadline and brings him back or something.
I think the Tigers will be up for that.
I know that
Tigers will be up for that. You know, every once in a while we get a topic on Talking Baseball that I just know everything about. And I feel so confident in what I'm saying. Playing ball on a bad team, I know all about it, dude. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about Javy Baez and how he's feeling? I'm not saying I'm Javy Baez. I never was. Okay, this guy's electric. He's got the tools. And what I'll say about kind of, it's tough to get up for games, man. When they know they're not going to make the playoffs, dude. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like there's a handful of teams that know that. We know who they are. We don't have to go over it. We don't want to, rain on everyone's parade, but they know they're not going to make the playoffs.
Trev, I'll add a little fuel for you. Baseball, you can even have this littlest sliver of hope. Like, I think the Pittsburgh Pirates right now are a young team that are like, we can make the playoffs. This Tigers team has zero belief in that.
Okay, now you're going to make me name the teams that can't make the playoffs?
No. We don't have to do that. I'm just saying the emotion that you unfortunately had to feel one year, I'd have to imagine that is brutal.
It's tough, man, because every single game, it becomes more about you than the team. And baseball really is a team game. And that's when it's really fun. And that's when you flourish, is when you can like, hey, man, the pressure's not on me today. Like there's other guys that can pick me up, or like, hey, like we won this game and we didn't even play our best baseball. The Tigers have to play their best baseball to win games or get extremely lucky.
Yeah.
And I've felt that before, man. Like talk about getting up 9-0 with the Twins. Oh yeah, I'm bringing that one back up.
Yeah.
What I would have said back in the day, let's keep scoring, bro.
Yeah.
9 might not be enough today. Let's keep going. That's a difficult place to be as a ball player. Like, so I'm not giving excuses for Baez. Like, he's got to go play. They paid him a lot of fucking money, man. You got to go put up, do your thing. I guarantee he'll say the exact same thing. But my experience with it is it's difficult, man. And we're only in April.
Trev,
once it gets to freaking June, July, and you're sitting and you're 20 games back, and it's like, holy crap, we have another 3 months of this, of just getting beat down. It becomes very difficult to motivate yourself to, let's move on. I can't. You're bringing back bad memories for me.
In the nicest way, like you are an expert in the field, and it's kind of unreal. Like you're opening my eyes to a lot of things. Like, the Yankees went down 9-0, but guess what? If they were playing the Tigers and the Yankees put up a 2 in the first, I would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't we put up another 2 and see what happens? Where if you're that other bad team and you think it can happen to you, sometimes it does, man, and that's one of the worst feelings in sports. Uncle Steve, take the bill. Throw him at third. Man. Take a couple prospects with them. Why not?